দয়াল গুরু গো দয়াল গুরু
And joining today, we are going to officially inaugurate this festival by two of the local representatives, Roger Harrington and Jane Dawson.
3, 2, 1.
We are in the main phase of the festival now. Thank you very much for coming and joining from different places. You know, this will continue till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we'll have the whole night session today from 7 o'clock in Bangladesh Centre. You all are welcome.
Hub manager for inner and outer North East Leeds, so I manage Regional Centre and about 7 other centres across the area, so it's a great privilege to welcome you to the centre today.
About the principles behind the festival, Vaishnavism, RadhaRaman, about trying to break down barriers between different faiths. And we can all see that that is one of the most important tasks that face us at the moment. In Burma, Buddhists fighting against Muslims. In India, Hindus fighting against Muslims. In the Middle East, we've got Christians, we've got different kinds of Muslims, we've got Jews, all fighting each other. And it's not so long ago that we had fighting in Northern Ireland, and unfortunately even there it still hasn't stopped, with Catholics and Protestants fighting each other. Now, I wonder whether you find that surprising, that religions seem to be always at each other's throats. Is that what we think is at the heart of religion? In Christianity there is the sentence, love your neighbour as yourself. Religion must be about how people get on, but also people obviously as religious believe. And so in the name of their God they decide that certain people are bad, evil and must be killed. And that unfortunately is true in every religion better than I do. But sadly, tragically, religions within each other even, not just against different religions, are each other's throats. and there was in the name of religion. Not a good picture. So where does music fit into that? Well, music at one level is simply something to come and enjoy. It may soothe you, calm you down, calm us down. In the Jewish Christian Bible, there's a story of David, King David, playing the lyre, sort of harp, for King Saul. When he got in a rage, he played the lyre to calm him down. But maybe music can do more than that. In Shakespeare's play, The Merchant of Venice, a character says, "I am never merry when I hear sweet music." And the other character replies, "The man that hath no music in himself, that is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for stratagems, treasons, and spoils." In other words, the man who has no music is probably up to no good. That is how important music is. And it carries on, "The motions of his spirit are dark as night, and his affections dull as Erebus." And the final line, "Let no such man be trusted." The person who doesn't listen to any music should not be trusted. You might think that's going a bit over the top. But I would say to you that the reason that music can speak to us so much is it gets to a level that a lot of other things don't. We have lots of squabbles, we have lots of things that we disagree about, but music, I think, can reach us at a deeper level. You might say, if you're a religious believer, to your soul, to your heart. The day after the massacres in Paris, in contrast to the massacre, the barbarity, it was music that could express what civilization is about. Here, over today and tomorrow. Well, on one level, if you're a religious believer, it reminds us that we're all, whoever we are, all children of the same God. If you're not a religious believer, it emphasizes our common humanity. And what could be more important at this time? And in conclusion, there's an attempt for us going on in Paris at the moment, a climate change conference. And again, if anything is more important than that, I do not know. But if we have a shared common humanity, then clearly we have to decide how we're going to cope with the threats to do with climate. So, I hope you have a great couple of days, and I hope that you just enjoy the music, but also, I think music, in a way that perhaps nothing else does, can remind us that what we have in common is more important than what divides us. Thank you very much.
much for performing.
The way forgotten. When words shape-shift beneath your feet, spelling another reality. When you don't know what to pray for anymore, let alone to whom. Then you must leave behind the old compasses, burn the man-made maps and head for home, following the knowing in your bones, the aching of your heart, the songline of your body.
For me personally, it's a big privilege to be here and to be asked to say some things and to share my thoughts with you. But more importantly, I see the celebration of Bengali culture, Bengali music in UK, organizing this every year, and this is the 5th year. The amount of commitment Kasarbai and his friends and his colleagues show to sustain Bengali culture, its feeling and its speech, it moves me. It's simply incredible in our thoughts, in our beliefs. The rise of extremism, religious intolerance, bigotry is hurting all of us. And I always think if I had some power in me, a magic wand to wave and let all this go away, then I'll be so happy. It celebrates diversity, celebrates multiculturalism, it celebrates everybody, each and every individual. And I believe people like yourselves and ourselves and people who are thinking enough of extremism, that will tackle bigotry.
Everyone asks, what caste of this world, what religion does Lalong belong to? Lalong says, I haven't yet laid my eyes on the face of any caste. Chatter idly about it. Lalong says, I've opted to discard all notion of any caste.
Celebrate the festival of great philosopher and folk composer RadhaRaman Such an inspirational speech, Roger. Thank you very much. On the one hand, and on the other hand, say the concept of by Western, say, warmongers, the ideals of RadhaRaman is very, very progressive society.
every time a free thinker like Abhijit is hacked to death. Though somewhat irrelevantly, I remember Aruna. Aruna, my childhood friend. No, she didn't go to the mosque with me.
আমরা দুজনা স্বর্গ খেলনা গড়িব না ধরণীতে মুগ্ধ ললিত অশ্রুগলিত গীতে পঞ্চস্বরের বেদনা মাধুরী দিয়ে বাসরে রাত্রি রচিব না মোরা প্রিয়ে
We shall not make heavenly toys on earth, be enthralled by songs evoking tears. We shall not fill our bridal night with joy and mirth.
And I learnt a lot about progressive Bengali folk music, about progressive Bengali culture and poetry. And it's wonderful that so many people are getting together through the medium of culture. People think that I'm just obsessed with politics, and they're right, I am obsessed with politics, as you should be if you're a member of Parliament. But in fact, the degree that I did at university, and I was lucky to be the first person from my family to go to university, was a degree in literature. So poetry and music is something that interests me greatly. If you trace back my ancestry, like so many people in East Leeds, my ancestry is traced back to Ireland, where my great-grandparents came from. And the progressive folk music of Ireland is something which moves me greatly, and so it's great to see so many people today who the progressive folk music from Bangladesh and Bengali progressive folk music moves them so much. So it is a great pleasure to be here today.
Club, the Lithuanian Club, you've got mosques and temples, you've got Church of England, you've got Methodists. Leeds is one of those places where you can actually come and you will be welcomed, and that is something I think we should all be very proud of. Leeds is just one of those places. It is the most diverse city outside London. Lots of places claim to be diverse, but they're not. They have one or two predominant populations. But in our schools there are nearly 200 languages spoken, and we're very proud of that. We're proud. And I've listened to RadhaRaman and his philosophy on life, and I would hope that is a philosophy that Leeds can take on board as well. Very talented people on this stage. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Poets and singers. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one.
গ্রাম দাহে সব মন তবু গেছে ভরে ঘরা ঘরা জল বইছি দুজনে হাত ধরাধরি করে
and a broad field between, a page to read all written over, with crops and rice so green.
ঘাট পানি কতদিন যে কাটবে এমন কেই বা তাহা জানে মাঝখানিতে জলির বিলে জলে কাজল জল বক্ষে তাহার জল কুমুদি মেলছে শতদল এগার ওগার দুধার হতে পথ দুখানি এসে জলির বিলের জলে তারা পদ্ম ভাষায় হেসে একলা মনে চলছিল ওই গায়ে ও গার মেয়ে আসছিল সে নুপুর পরা পায়ে
Village beneath the tall trees plays at hide and seek. Here and there the peasants' huts among the shadows peep.
But let me just say one thing. I'm a Muslim, but I'm not apologetic for those idiots who causes all the atrocities all over the world.
I would like to stress on one thing briefly, and I would like to touch on that as well. That anybody who loves God has to love the human being.